Engineering. Sullurpet was established in 2001 under the aids of Sri Krishna Education Society. The Krishna group of institutions under SKEC also encompasses premier institutions in the field of engineering, pharmacy and polytechnic education.
Office was founded in the year 2000 by visionary leaders, President Sri G. Brahmaya Garu, General Secretary Sri Srinivasa Baba Garu, and Treasurer Sri M.M. Kondai Garu. GKCE is affiliated with Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Anantapuram, Technical Education, New Delhi, and accredited by NAC.
The college offers 5 undergraduate engineering programs, ECE, CSE, Civil, EEE and ME, along with postgraduate MTech courses in digital electronics, communication engineering, power electronics and machine design and engineering, as well as MBA program, and also available in DCME, DAIM, DEC, DME and DEEE.
First, may I request Dr. M. Suresh Garu, Principal of GKCE, to please come forward and take the seat on dais.
Now I request Dr. N. Rajashekar Reddy Garu, Dean of GKCE, to please join us on the dais.
May I request Mrs. M. Nanapriya Garu, Vice Principal of GKCE, to please join us on the dais.
Now I request our chief guest, Dr. B. Ishwar Reddy Garu, to please come on the dais.
We begin the program with the lighting of the lamp. Let us all stand for the prayer song. We shall now commence the traditional lighting of the lamp ceremony. All of you please maintain the silence. Now I take privilege to introduce our principal, Dr. M. Suresh Garu, who has been serving as the principal of Krishna College of Engineering since January 24, 2019, with over 2 decades of experience in teaching, research and academic administration. He is committed to driving quality education, institutional development and sustainable growth of GKC.
He began his academic journey with a diploma in mechanical engineering from YSRR Polytechnic, Pulivendula in 1995, followed by a BE in mechanical engineering from AMACE, Kanchipuram in 1999. He completed his MTech in thermal engineering at JNTU College of Engineering, Hyderabad in 2005 and earned his PhD in mechanical engineering from JNTUA College of Engineering in 2018. His doctoral research focused on the performance analysis of biodiesel derived from non-edible oils using various blends, piston crowns and additives in CI engines.
He joined GKC in 2003 as academic assistant and has held key roles in including exam cell in charge and head of department of mechanical engineering before assuming the role of principal. He has taught a wide range of subjects including thermodynamics, thermal engineering, fluid mechanics, power plant engineering, non-conventional energy source, engineering drawing and management science.
He has published over 10 research papers in reputed national and international journals and guided 12 MTech and more than 50 undergraduate students in their academic projects. Under his leadership, GKC achieved NAC accreditation in 2023.
A native of village, he takes immense pride in contributing to the growth of GKC and remains dedicated to shaping the future of young engineers with a strong foundation in knowledge, discipline and social responsibility. Thank you sir.
Now I would like to request our principal sir to address the gathering.
Distinguished chief guest of this national conference, B. Iswar Reddy Garu, and the keynote speaker, Professor Ravana Reddy Garu, my dear faculty members, HODs, and my dearest students, a warm welcome to all of you on this auspicious day. It gives me immense pleasure to be part of this national conference. At the outset, we should try to notice what is the importance of such conferences. Though people may feel that as a part of academic program, we should conduct an activity like this and we should try to engage with students coming across the state, have a discussion, have some fun and finish it off, so that you will be having an advantage of publishing your paper in a conference, which is an essential part as per your academic requirement. It is not so. See, this is the platform where people across different places with different issues upon which they have put some effort as a real practice to identify some means to overcome the troubles which have been faced by real-time models. We should find so many such interactions, not limited to a conference like this. See, we used to share social media in all other aspects other than academics. Most of the people, mostly this young generation, though we know a lot of platforms are there where technical know-how can be exchanged in between students, and people will show very less interest on such platforms. I am not justifying myself that students will not explore those opportunities, but most of you, as I have seen throughout these years, you will be showing more interest in where you will be feeling somewhat happy. Then engineers' major activity is not to be just happy, to make others to be happy. How can we do that? If we are keenly observing our society, our daily problems surrounding you. As we have, see from the government, there are a lot of initiatives like community service projects. In the second year itself, you might have gone through some villages, isn't it? Our students have went, they might have identified certain issues, they have been told some problems to them, they may be finding some means, maybe this will work out for this issue, and they may have plenty of thoughts. Then when you reach in final year, at least you should remember few things for which you can find a good solution. And you may have some relation with the students where the other people also will be involving in such practices, and have a discussion and find out a wonderful solution. Ideas may be shared across the people. It is not been limited to a particular discipline of the branch. As NEP 2020 is letting us to allow the student to choose his own taste, of course, and he can get more number of subjects, as many as possible, through online, like MOOCs. University have granted us 40% of course can be pursued through these platforms. Now you have to link your problem and choose a particular course where you can find a solution for that. You can opt for certain skill development courses where your skill can be enhanced, so that you will be identifying a particular solution for the problems which you are coming across. So in this way, technical graduates have to look happiness in other faces, not only within us. So that is the way how you can contribute to the society. The very basic objective of an engineering student is to troubleshoot the issues, isn't it? So I hope platforms like this will give more opportunities for you to interact with each other and choose a correct path where your knowledge can be poured in and get the required solutions. And it will expand your attitude, and you can try to have more and more opportunities. And this way you have to enhance your skills. And I really appreciate Dr. Rajshekhar Reddy Garu, our Dean, who have started trying to get this particular conference happen this day with the support of all faculty members, HODs and the students. And when we were discussing about the process, we are in the middle of Mac processor, can't we postpone it for 2 weeks? Like that we had a discussion, and sir was telling, no sir, let it be happened in this academic year itself, so that our final year students will participate in the program. Then they will grab that opportunity, otherwise they may miss this opportunity. And once again I thank you for this one, sir. Now it is the time where your minds can be ignited by the valuable words of Professor Ishwar Reddy Garu as well as Ramana Reddy Garu, who came all the way from JNTU. Though they will have lot of activities there, a lot of issues there, they are spared their time. One day they are spending with us. Really we are fortunate for having them in front of us. Once again I thank you both for being part of this conference, sir. On behalf of our management, I welcome you both for this program, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. you, sir. Now I take privilege to introduce our Dean, Dr. N. Rajshekar Reddy Garu, who completed PhD in software systems and has years of expertise and experience in encompassing all components of higher education, management and professional expert in software industry. He served as corporate trainer and developer in SAP, architect around 6 years. He has expertise in software tools like Informatica, Hadoop, etc. He has been a resource person for workshops, conferences, webinars and expert lectures in specialized topics like International Innovation Program, IIP 5.0, software engineering and testing, cloud computing, blockchain technology, artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT, cyber security, virtual reality, augmented reality, gesture technology and data science.
He is also an experienced speaker and resource person for faculty and leadership training in outcome-based education and accreditation process as per NAC and NBA. He has published 50 plus international journals papers in reputed international journals like ACM, IEEE and Scopus Index journals, and also attended as keynote speakers, session chair in IoT of national and international conferences. He has organized a number of international conferences and international workshops with Indo-US collaboration with engineering education and published number of books in national and international publications.
He is senior member of world-renowned organization Software Engineering Institute and senior member of IEEE, member of Institution of Engineering India and a life member of Indian Society for Technical Education. He served as a member in international professional bodies like World Research Forum, IACSIT and IAENG.
Now I would like to request our Dean Sir to please address the gathering.
Good morning to everyone. Good warm welcome to our chief guest, Dr. Ishwar Reddy Garu, Director Sponsored Research, JNT Anantapur. Dr. V. Ramana Reddy Garu, the BOS Chairman, Department of ECE, JNT Calgary, and our Principal, Vice Principal, all HODs, and all my dear students. Welcome to the National Conference on Emerging Technologies in Engineering and Management Sciences. Actually, we are critically busy in this NAC movement. We planned this National Conference on Emerging Technologies in Engineering and Management Sciences. I requested to the principal, sir. He also, sir, we are very busy in this NAC situation, very critical last moment, because last 4th is the last date for submission. At this time, principal, sir, and management are encouraged to conducting this national conference. Their support is it's not defined. Actually, we received around 52 different colleges and our final year college students and MTech students. In this research papers, based on the review, we selected the 3 types of journals. The first students' papers we are suggesting to the UGC care journals. The remaining some research papers we are sending to the and also all the papers were converted into the national conference proceedings first, then we are recommended to UGC care journals and the Scopus Index journals. This is about the, actually the aim of the national conference is all the faculty members, researchers and industry people and the different students share their knowledge into the different platforms like computer science, the latest technologies like blockchain technology, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, related to share their knowledge to the different types of people. Generally in these conferences, the lot of people as a listeners, because of they're getting more knowledge due to the different types of participants. There is generally we are going to some corporate cities, a lot of people are participated in this type of conferences where they're getting more knowledge from the participants. The participants may be like faculties, researchers and the industry experts to share their knowledge and getting the knowledge purpose, more people are attended to these conferences. In this college, just I joined 2 months back in this college as a Dean R&D and Academics. The first I initiated this program, national conference to this institution with the support of principal and management. Generally, these conferences and conferences, workshops, seminars, student symposiums, these are all generally as a part of academics. But we are conducting all these programs time to time, semester by semester, year by year. We are preparing the academic audit reports. No need to searching for the documents for the NBA and NAC. So these are the part of academic activities, all these programs. That's why we have initiated this first national conference on emerging technologies and engineering sciences. This all cooperation, generally the organizing committee, the student coordinators and all HODs, principal and management supported. Now we are here to celebrating this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to take the privilege to introduce our Vice Principal Ma'am, Mrs. M. Gnanapriya Garu. She completed her M.Tech from Anna University, where she emerged as a gold medalist and secured an impressive 14th rank in the university. She has a deep passion for research and innovation, which is evident from her more than 25 publications in reputed national and international journals. Successfully qualified the National Eligibility Test in 2019, scoring a remarkable 98.3 percentile.
Recognized for her outstanding leadership and contribution to the institutional development, she received the Best Vice Principal Award from the National Science Foundation, Coimbatore, for academic year 2023 and 2023.
With a rich teaching experience spanning 25 years, M. Gnanapriya Garu has been an integral part of GKCE's journey since its inception. She joined GKCE as a lecturer in 2001, promoted as Associate Professor and Head of the ECE Department on 12th April 2013. She successfully led the department with academic rigor and innovation. On 9th April 2021, she was elevated to the position of Vice Principal and Academic Dean, where she continued to guide the institution with vision, commitment and leadership. Now I would like to request our Vice Principal Ma'am to address the gathering.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, dear faculty and my dear students, good morning to you all. I want to bring a scene of Yuddha Kanda from Ramayana in front of your eyes. So, in the battlefield, last day, Ravana was fully wounded and he was lying on the floor. And Rama, in Tamil we used to tell Raman Roki. So Rama was standing there and then he was asking that Lakshmana to go and get learning from Ravana, to go and get knowledge transfer from Ravana. He was wondered actually why he was enemy, Ravana was enemy and he abducted Sita and all the nonsense he has done, but why Rama is asking us to go and learn from Ravana. Then anyway he went and he made that knowledge transfer has happened, because even though he is our enemy, if he is knowledged, he has wisdom and we have to get knowledge, we have to learn from him. This is what the scenario says. And the purpose of arranging this conference is also like that. Knowledge transfer, as our deans have said, knowledge transfer is very important, knowledge sharing is very important actually. If you have 1 crore rupee and another person is also having 1 crore, if you exchange that 1 crore rupee, you will be getting, both of you will get still 1 crore only. But if you have an idea and another person is having idea, if you exchange that ideas, both will have 2 ideas. So I request all the participants from our college and outside throughout that nation, actually I request you people, you present your idea well, and after presentation don't go away, you wait for others' presentation, you learn from them, and you have to learn a lot throughout this day, because this day is meant for that. And we have eminent persons from our university, and it is your duty to learn to the maximum as much you possible. So I request and I congratulate the entire team for arranging the platform, students, coordinators and the convener of this program. I congratulate all the people for arranging such a wonderful program here, and I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Now I take the privilege to introduce our chief guest, Dr. B. Ishwar Reddy Garu, who is currently serving as the Professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering and Director of Sponsored Research at JNTVA. He has Also been serving as the Secretary of ISTE Andhra Pradesh State Section since 2019. He completed his BTech in Computer Science and Engineering from SK University, followed by MTech and PhD from JNTUH. With a vast academic and administrative experience spanning 28 years, he began his career as Assistant Professor in 1999 at JNTU, was promoted to Associate Professor in 2006 and later to Professor in 2012. He has held several key administrative positions including Head of CSE Department, President of Teachers Association, Vice Principal of JNTUA College of Engineering, Anantapur, Principal of JNTUA College of Engineering, Kalikiri, Director of Software Development Center, Director of Admissions, and Director of Research and Development.
An accomplished researcher, he has authored and co-authored over 170 publications in reputed international journals and conferences. His research has earned 2,631 citations with an H index of 24 and I-10 index of 57. He has guided over 200 MTech, MCA and BTech theses and projects and has successfully supervised 35 PhD scholars as a main and co-supervisor. He has also authored and edited 4 textbooks and has been the principal investigator for major funded projects including a UGC major research project worth 12 lakhs and a DST ANRF pair project worth 125 lakhs. He is an active member of various prestigious professional bodies such as IEEE, CSI, ISCA, IE, IAE and CSTA. Now I would like to take the privilege to request the chief guest to address the gallery.
Thank you for a nice introduction. Basically, I'm a professor of computer science, and one point to tell you for the benefit of the students and faculty. I'm presently only one point. It's not a mistake. I'm the secretary of AP State IST AP section. So, if you are interested, I think we can, because there are many things under which students and faculty can participate with respect to ISTE activities, because I am the only person taking care of the AP state. It's not just for information. For all other things, I am grateful. Thank you. Yeah. It is almost reaching 12 o'clock. Anyhow, good morning. Still we are in the morning. Yeah, maybe, as you wish. It will be, I will continue up to afternoon. Yes, definitely, it will be continued beyond the 12 o'clock. Fine. Respected dignitaries, your principal, Suresh Garu, Vice Principal, Jnanapriya, and most dynamic personality, who is the man behind this today's conference, Dr. Rajshekar Reddy, and my beloved friend Ramana Reddy from our university, and heads of the departments, faculty members of Computer Science Department and faculty members of other departments. Importantly, students of this college, but not least, the participants from other institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I should thank the management, Brahmaya Garu, and your administrators of this college for inviting me to this national conference, namely Emerging Technologies in Engineering and Management Science. Emerging Technologies, when I go through the brochure, today we have been listening to some of the buzzwords like artificial intelligence, cloud computing, blockchain technology. Like that, there are many topics, data science, VLSI, embedded systems, Internet of Things, yeah, even from management side, finance, human resources, business analytics, yeah, there are many topics which have been listed in the brochure, and I understood that there are about more than 50 research papers have been received in various disciplines to this prestigious conference. And it is for this institution, I came to know that even I attended long back, maybe 10 years back, I attended as a guest for symposiums. But I could definitely, wholeheartedly congratulate you for conducting this national conference, keeping all the branches together. It's a wonderful idea. If you look at, we are living in a time of extraordinary transformation. With the technologies again, see artificial intelligence. Wherever you go, in any branch of our life or in the branch of engineering or in our day-to-day life, the artificial intelligence has become common, but we should understand the words whatever we are speaking at the institutions is the same the technologies that we are applying in the industries. So this whatever the technologies we have been talking about, as we know, we are practicing in the laboratories. But if you really see about these technologies, they are not just confined to the laboratories. Yeah, all these technologies have been in practice in the industry, and they are reshaping the industries, and they are redefining the economies and revolutionizing our lives and even our work. Similarly, if you look at management science, even the management is undergoing a lot of paradigm shift, embracing innovation, agility, and digital first strategies. So everywhere we should apply these digital technologies. If you look at the pharmacy or healthcare, so every year even our central government is focusing on, if you look at the healthcare technologies. But if you just look at the healthcare as alone, as doctors or engineers, so they cannot do on their own. If you collaboratively, if the healthcare industry and the engineers, if come together to work, if they can apply artificial intelligence or the material science or the other, so if you can work across the various disciplines, so you can fulfill the dreams and they can improve the economy of your own, or at the same time you can improve the inclusive growth of the country. So that's why this conference, so inviting the papers from various disciplines is both timely and essential for the students or for the researchers, is a very good point. So this conference serves as a platform where academia from different disciplines of students and the industry people can come together to discuss challenges, and they can exchange ideas, and they can forge collaborations that can lead to real world solutions. So it is possible only through collaborations. So earlier what we were thinking of is the specializations, but today you need to think about the interdisciplinary concepts and collaborations. Just as just mentioned, the healthcare is not the doctors are not just the engineers, but if they have to come together. So to the budding engineers and aspiring managers present here, I encourage you to embrace a mindset of learning. So for all this, to have a collaboration, and you have to fix up your mindset, that is either for collaboration or for learning. If you see the learning phenomena, just now Vice Principal Gnanapriya was telling about Yuddhakanda example. So wherever you may be at the verge of death, or at the verge of whether you are a young or you are a old, for learning, age do not matters. And for researchers and for students, for anybody, time do not matters or age do not matters. So at any point of time, you have to keep on learning, particularly in the transformative world. So if you really observe, so this learning phenomena, dear students, in your classrooms, you will learn only 25%. So just with 25% knowledge, if you look at for employment or for jobs, it is highly difficult. So you see the remaining 3/4 of knowledge, only what you have is only 25% in the classrooms. So how to get the remaining 3/4 of the knowledge? That is, one way is by spending your time without wasting. By spending your time appropriately in the library, or of course you can spend it with your gadget, but use your gadgets for learning. And by attending this kind of conferences, by writing the research articles, so and by way of interacting, by debating with your fellow students, and by virtue of your own experience, this 3/4 of knowledge can be acquired. That's why with just with the 25% knowledge, you are appearing for the interviews and you are looking for the jobs. That's why you are facing difficulties. So there is so much to learn beyond your classrooms. And one thing I would like to stress is you have to make your resume unique. How to make? For example, so your principal has mentioned about the MOOC courses and importance of attending these kind of conferences. So how to make unique? Everybody is attending. There are lakhs of students are attending to the interviews. But these days what I understood is not the HR people they are not picking your resumes. The automated systems are picking based on your expertise. Let us select, for example, full stack development or Java or in different domains or in the cyber security or whatever it may be. If you mention that a particular area, and under you have been mentioning so many areas, but your automated system will look for only one area in which you have the expertise. That's why you have to mention your interested area under which how much expertise you have. So that is one thing. Then how to make your resume unique? One, you can write an article, you can present it, and you can claim that you have presented this paper, this research paper. You can show. And you can do some kind of a MOOC course, standard MOOC course. You can claim that in this particular subject, yes, I have a very good skills. So like that. And you can, even IST is the forum under which I think every year we are giving about 10 awards for the students. There are about 25 awards every year we are giving, we are notifying. And you can, not only IST, there are many professional bodies. They give the certifications. So in that also you can participate, you can get some kind of certification. So like that, try to make your resume unique. Then many of the candidates are attending, then you must appear as a unique personality. That is the one thing. Even at the third year level, you can write the GATE examination to prove yourself that you have some knowledge in your subjects. So for that, what they see your state level examination or at the national level, which is the one you know very well. So you can at the third year or from second year onwards, you can plan to write. Don't worry that whether you get it or not, the very good score. But if you can qualify, that matters. So that's why don't stop the learning. That is the point. Learning, as I said, at different stages which will take place. And don't stop asking the technical questions. So when you attend to some here, your conference, their organizers are there, even some of the students will be presenting. Don't hesitate to ask the questions. Here, even to ask a question, you have to think about the subject, to ask a relevant question. At the same time, the presenter will have to give some reasonable answer, may not be the 100% correct answer. So here, this will give you some idea. So that's why never stop asking the technical questions, never stop the experimenting. So then you will be thinking that if you ask questions, your friends may laugh. But unless you experiment, unless you ask, you cannot understand. Nothing will happen. As you are students, you can do mistakes. As students, you are permitted to do the mistakes. Once you are graduate, nobody accepts if you do mistakes, either in speaking, either in writing, or when you are answering the interview. But here you can do a lot of experimentation during the course. And above all, never stop believing in the power of your ideas and your positive thinking. So with this brief remarks, I would like to conclude by appreciating the organizers for curating a program that brings together diverse perspectives from technical sessions, keynote addresses by eminent personality, Dr. Ramna Reddy Garu, with the panel discussions and paper presentations. Definitely this conference will be fruitful for the organizers and particularly for the participants. These initiatives not only promote the academic excellence but also cultivate a culture of research, dialogue and innovation. Let this conference be the beginning of the new ideas, meaningful collaborations and impactful research which will contribute to the progress of your career and the betterment of the humanity. Once again, I thank the organizers for inviting me to this prestigious conference. I wish the conference a great success and all participants a wonderful, rewarding experience. Jai Hind, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. Now I would like to take the privilege to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. R. Ramna Reddy Garu. He is a distinguished professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering with over 23 years of experience. He specializes in antennas, EMI, EMC, VLSI and embedded systems. He has an impressive research record, having published over 55 international journal papers, 5 national journal papers and presented 47 papers at international and 38 at national conferences. He also holds 5 Indian patents.
He has contributed to several funded projects, including those from NRSC Hyderabad and this institution R&D scheme. He is actively involved in academia as a board of study member for ECE and ECT at JNTUA and JNTUK. And he has delivered more than 50 15 expert lectures at premier institutes like IIT Kharagpur and NIT Rourkela.
He has received several prestigious awards, including the Bharat Ratna Mother Teresa Gold Medal Award in 2017 and recognition from IEEE conferences such as INCAP 2018, WAMS 2022 and WAMS 2023, including the Best Paper Award at WAMS 2022.
His dedication to professional development is evident through participation in over 50 workshops and courses on cutting-edge technologies across institutions like IITs, NITs, BARC and ISRO.
Now I would like to request Dr. R. Ramana Reddy Garu to please share his insights.
Good afternoon, all the students present here. So, already your energy is gone? Yes. Still program is there. If you're not energetic, speakers won't get energy. So you must have energy to encourage us to speak to you. So respected Professor Isa Reddy Garu, Director Sponsored Research from JNU Anandapuram, and your Principal Suresh Garu, Vice Principal Madam Gyanapriya Garu, and convener of this conference Rashekar Reddy Garu, HODs of all the departments, faculties, students of this college, and students came all the way to present their papers from outside colleges, and all the non-teaching staff, each and everyone present in this conference. Good afternoon to all and all. So I have two phases here. One is I have to speak as part of the DAS activity. Second one I have to speak as a part of keynote speaker. So I don't take much time as DAS activity because I have to take minimum 1 hour as keynote speaker. Is sufficient 1 hour? No? You want more time? You decide and tell me how much time you want. It can range from half an hour to 3 to 4 hours. It is up to you. Now I congratulate each and every student who are part of this conference. What are the advantages you are going to get by being part of a conference? If you want to study one particular topic, how much time it will take? You have to know the basics, all the fundamental basics involved in this, and then understand it, explore the advancements in that particular area. If you are a good learner, it takes minimum 2 to 3 days to understand one particular topic in a given field. If you attend a conference, as informed by your convener, sir, so roughly 50 papers have been accepted. So you can listen to 50 different topics which have been solved and addressed by your co-participants or your students. For you to learn really those 50 topics on your own, how much time it will take? It will take months. Still, you are not sure that you are going to gain complete information and knowledge. But if you can spare 1 day attentively, not sparing 1 day, attentively in the conference and listen to the papers presented by the presenters or authors, you can learn a lot of information. When you go outside, you have at least the capability to face any interviews covering a wide area of topics. And for the person who is presenting a paper, he can improve his knowledge base, his thinking ability by solving a problem. Identifying a problem itself is a major problem. Do you know identifying a problem for a PhD is 50% of the work. If they are able to identify the right problem, maximum issue is gone. So identifying a problem itself is 50% of the problem. So they identified a problem, they solved it to the extent possible, and then they drafted it, improving their drafting skills, and published a paper or commented a paper. It has been accepted for publication, and now they are coming in front of you to present, to enhance their presenting skills or improving their communication skills. By being part of this conference, you can improve your knowledge, thinking ability, problem solving ability, presenting skills, and then as a participant, by hearing to them, you can definitely get a lot of information. So students, obviously sitting hours together is very tough, but if you know the advantage of being part of it, you will definitely find interest or gain interest and be part of it and learn more things. So once again, congratulating all the team members who are part of this program, and especially your management trio, Brahmay Garu, Srinivas Baba Garu, Kondai Garu, and all other members for inviting us for this conference and being part of it. So I'll be continuing this with a break as keynote speaker, and ask the principal, what topic shall I speak? And what are the students who are present here? He said a mixture of CSE, ECE majority, and few from other disciplines. So I cannot take one particular area. That means I am from EC background. If only EC students are there, I may select antennas or VLSI, which is my area of interest. But there are other department students also. Then I thought more general and where you can pay a lot of interest is communications, satellite communications, where India is doing a lot of improvement. And we are one of the forerunners in satellite communications now. So I chosen that topic. So I'll be speaking to you in satellite communications, and then what are the enhancements we have done as a nation in satellite communications. And I welcome you to
heartfelt gratitude to our honorable guests, Dr. B. Ishwar Reddy Garu and Dr. R. Ramna Reddy Garu, for gracing this occasion with their presence and valuable insights. As a token of our respect and appreciation, we would like to present this felicitation and memento to both the chief guest and keynote speaker. I would like to request our principal sir, Dean sir, to kindly come forward and do the honors. Now I would like to request the guests to please take a seat on the sofa.
one request. Can I make a request? Is it right? Can I make a request here? Those who are interested to listen, kindly listen to what I am going to say. Those who are not interested, you sleep there itself where you are sitting, or simply get up and go out. But don't disturb others. And don't disturb the speaker who is going to speak for you. We can understand as students at the time of 12:30, now the keynote has started, and that too space goes over the head, what to listen. And if you find this maybe there, who thought we already learned satellite communication, what's are going to teach us again for the same subject, all these kind of questions will be there. But those who can listen, you can pay concentration. Those who are not interested, just sit and look at my face, or look at the fans, or look at somewhere you want. Or not interested to look at anyone, close your eyes, sleep there. Even not interested to sleep, kindly walk out. But don't disturb. Is this request okay? Now shall we start our lecture? Okay. So what is the starting point of journey of satellite communication? Where the coin this idea of satellite communication. If you take a photograph from here, how much area you can cover with that camera? Just go out, you are on the second floor or somewhere, from there you try to take the photograph. How much area you will be able to cover it? Go to 10th floor, from there you try to take a photograph. Same viewing angle, same camera, how much area you can cover? It will definitely increase. So the starting point is to take image, photographs of okay. So there's the idea of taking images by sending balloons. They used balloons, and for the balloon they kept cameras, and they started make the balloon fly high. From there they had started taking images. That point the idea of satellite communication. And then if you send an instrument, it can be a sensor, a transducer, or a camera, or infrared camera. If you can send it to a possible topmost point and place it there and able to operate from the ground station, what are the benefits you are going to get? There, the advancements of communication started. And I'll pose few questions for you to think, and those questions I'll be covering in my lecture. As students studied satellite communication know how many orbits are there, different orbits available, where to place the satellite, what happens if you place the satellite in a specific orbit, and at what speed you have to make the satellite move in a second, how many kilometers per second you have to move, then what are the advantages, disadvantages. And then Indian space mission from Aryabhatta, from 1975 they started the first space mission Aryabhatta, and till the latest Chandrayaan 1, Chandrayaan 2, MAM or Mars mission, Chandrayaan 3, Solar or Aditya, and the coming Gaganyaan and the Spartak or space tech experiment conducted recently. What is that experiment? What is the outcome of it? And we also observed our Indian who returned back from the space after a long stay of more than 280 or 275 days in the space. Why it has been delayed? What is the reason for the such huge delay? And what are the precautions they have taken to bring Madam Sunita Williams back? And you also know one of our Indian, Madam Kalpana Chawla, died when they are returning back from the space. What happened there? Why the tragedy happened? And what precautions they have taken so that Sunita Williams can come safely back to the earth? Those points I'll be trying to covering in my lecture, and I'll show as many images as possible. Theory first, 5 to 10 minutes, few theory points which are required for basic understanding, and remaining entire presentation is only images. Speaking less, showing images will be more. Based on your interest, time, I'll be going one after the other till time permits. Wherever you or your organization ask me to stop, I'll stop it there. Okay? Is it okay? So now, before your projector starts, So let us know the difference. What happened when Madam Kalpana Chawla is coming back and why blast has taken place and she died on the way. And what precautions they have taken for the spacecraft when Sunita Williams is coming back. Anybody can just think and try to give an answer for it. When the spacecraft is coming back from the space to the Earth, when it is entering into the Earth's atmosphere, Earth's environment, for a 7 minutes period, there will be a blackout. Blackout means there will not be any connection between the space and the ground station. Completely signal will be lost. Signal will not be there. Nobody knows what is going to happen in that 7 minutes. After 7 minutes again, we'll get connection to the satellite. That is point number one. Why blackout happens? Because when the spacecraft is entering with such high velocity into the ground environment or Earth's environment, huge temperature will be there. Temperature will rise very heavily. It rises to 2000 degrees centigrade. Temperature around the spacecraft will be above 2000 degrees centigrade. Now imagine such a high temperature, 2000 degrees centigrade. Any metal will be there, will get melted. Any spacecraft is made up of some metal or the other. If such a high temperature, 2000 degrees centigrade is there, and what is the fate of the spacecraft? The temperature increases, it just breaks into pieces, or the solid particles will become liquid, melt down and fall down. Then what happens? That is the problem. So when Madam Kalpana Chawla is returning back in that spacecraft, above the spacecraft they keep some tiles, like the way we keep tiles on the floor. They keep tiles, the tiles which can withstand up to 2000 to 2000 degrees centigrade temperature. When such a huge temperature is there, these tiles can shield the temperature so that the temperature will not flow inside the spacecraft. That is the role of the tiles which is placed around the spacecraft. One of the tiles has broken and fallen down. One tile from the entire spacecraft has broken. That is sufficient for the temperature to increase and go inside the spacecraft, and they blasted into pieces. And we lost a great Indian daughter, Madam Kalpana Chawla. But when Sunita Williams Madam is coming back, they have taken proper care. Even at that 2000 degrees centigrade, those tiles should not fall down. That's the precaution they have taken, and they are able to come back. And there are 2 points to remember there. One is, can they increase the speed? Why 7 minutes to cross that high temperature zone? They can increase the speed and come faster in 4 to 5 minutes. But what happens? When the velocity increases, temperature will further rise. That may go up to 2600, 2700. It's very tough to hold such high temperatures. If they delay, if they come slowly, not with the same speed, temperature rise may be less, but time taken is more. Now 7 minutes may become 9 minutes, 10 minutes. For longer time, that spacecraft must bear the temperature. So there are vice versa effects on both sides. They cannot travel at a much higher speed, so the temperature increases. They cannot come slowly to reduce the temperature, because for a long term, they have to bear the temperature. Even from 2000 they bring to 1700 something. But 1700 degrees centigrade for 9 minutes, compared to that 2000 degrees centigrade for 7 minutes, which will have the impact? Obviously, the second one will be more impact. Keeping that in view, they cannot increase the speed, they cannot make it reverse. So the only way is prepare materials. Prepare materials, alloys such a way that your spacecraft can withhold those high temperatures. That is the only go. In that way, they made precautions to overcome that. That is one point. Second one, SPA deck or space deck. Recently, there is a experimentation going on by our Indian space organizations. What is that? What is that SPA deck or space deck? What has been done? Recently, the experiment which is done by India. What is that? Anybody has any idea? Can you name why they have done it, or tell why they have done it. What is the need? So one answer from one of your classmates: to transport safely astronauts into the spaceship. That's the answer. Is it right? No, because you cannot transfer people through spaceship. So Spartak. The experiment done by India is slightly different. Ultimately, it's for the benefit of astronauts who are there in the space. The purpose is, if you send a spacecraft into the space, there's a spacecraft there, like NASA. NASA has a space station where there are a lot of instruments are there. They need to send people there to repair what are the problems they are coming. And when they're going and working there, they need more energy, battery life, fuel. From where they're going to get it? After 1 week, 10 days, power will be gone, or the battery will drain out. Then they have to send a vehicle to refill it. So now there is a spacecraft coming and reaches one more spacecraft. Now they have to join both so that whatever material they want to transfer, either a fuel or a battery or food particles, whatever requirements or materials which are required, they must transfer from one vehicle to another vehicle. It's not like where in a railway station you get a goods platform or goods bogie will come, they throw the vehicle, luggage outside. It is space, anything comes out, you will lose it because there's no gravitational pull. So you have to transfer and store it. So Spartak means connecting two flights so that you can transfer energy, materials required to another spacecraft and you can come back. So connecting that is nothing but the Spartak experiment which is conducted by our Indian Satellite Agency. Why we have done it? What is the need? And the avasam enti? What is the need? The future goal is India also want to build space station like NASA in the space. Then they must come out of all these experiments. They recently also tested a robotic arm. How many of you know? A robotic arm which comes out of the spacecraft, which automatically comes out and then started working on the problems. That means there is some problem with the nuts, bolts, sensors. It comes out based on the commands you are giving. That robotic arm will do the repairs. 7-axis movement will be there, 360 degrees rotation. That robotic arm will do the repairs. A mechanic who works on your two-wheeler or car, it's only his hands which are moving. You know how to use it, where to place the hand, how to repair it. That is sufficient. So that is the goal of the robotic arm. That is the second one. So now we came to the last points. Now go back to the initial history and I'll go to very fast because the total number of slides available in this pen drive is only 600 slides. Only 600. My target is first 20 to 25, briefly explain it. Then based on the time permit, 100 to 150, just jump, scan one after the other so that you get an overall idea. And then any questions I will be taking from you. Anytime you can stop me for questions. Okay? So these are few topics which I am going to cover. And presently more than 2,000 artificial satellites are orbiting the Earth. In the coming future, there may be satellite wars. As now, many wars are drone wars. Soldiers are not fighting the wars now. Drones are fighting the wars. Similarly, in future, they'll have satellite wars because if you can just spoil or blast enemy's country's satellite, no communication for them. In satellite communication, you have two main components. One is ground segment, other one is the space segment. The idea of this satellite first came in a short story. అంటే ఒక చిన్న కథలో వచ్చిందండి. You have to dream high. Dream చేస్తానికి అది జరుగుతుంది. So one author, Mr. Edward Everett Hale, he written in his short story, The Brick Moon, which is the basic for this satellite. That's what they have thought. No problem, don't worry. Whenever it comes, we look into the slides. Whenever it won't come, we'll just go on with our thoughts. Okay? Second thing I told about robotic arm. What's third one? Third one is they have grown some sprouts in the spacecraft. Have you heard about it? This space mission which is done by India, one is to test the robotic arm, second one to grow sprouts in the spacecraft. In 4 days, they are able to grow the sprouts. Sprouts అంటే తెలుసు కదండి, ఇంట్లో అది మొలకలేదు అంటారు. ఒక తడిగుడ్లో చుట్టేసి పెడితే మార్నింగ్ మొలకలు వస్తుంటే అది విటమిన్స్ ఎనర్జీ ఏదేదో అంటారు. Because getting food in space is not so easy. And they need a controlled environment that they are able to create. So that creates the way to give food and also spark to give the fuel and components required. And what are the other missions? Chandrayaan 1, 2, 3. There are 3 missions which have been done by India and then MOM. What is the novelty in this? You take MOM or Mars mission. What is the greatness or a great contribution there from India? Anybody can guess? Few other countries also they have sent the satellites to Mars. But what is the greatness of India in that mission? They have sent that at such a low cost that the travel cost is 4 rupees per kilometer. 4 rupees per kilometer, which is same as auto fare. మీరు ఒక ఆటో ఎక్కారనుకోండి, కిలోమీటర్ 4 రూపాయల కింద తక్కువ తీసుకుంటాడా? 4 rupees per kilometer, అంతకన్నా తక్కువ అమౌంట్లో పంపించారు. No other country able to do it. That is the positive strength they have done. The way they planned, the time they have planned. If they miss that particular date and time, they will take 18 more months to get the same situation. They cannot afford to miss that situation. In that short time, they are able to fulfill that mission and complete it within 2 years. That is the one advantage. For every advantage, there will be a disadvantage. What is the disadvantage? We have taken more time to reach the Mars. You can straight away go, but if you want to straight away go, you need more fuel and more energy. I don't think these slides are visible for you. Is it visible? I don't think they are visible. But for covering few points from here, from this, and as I informed, the first person is Edward Everett Hale, who published this thought. A practical concept is proposed by Arthur C. Clarke from his paper Extraterrestrial Relays. Can rocket stations give worldwide radio coverage in October 1945 in a journal called Wireless World? And Mr. Clarke proposed that if you place the satellite at 35,786 kilometers, that is 22,236 miles, you can make it move with the same speed as what Earth is rotating, so that it can become a geostationary orbit. And then the first artificial satellite is Sputnik 1, which is launched by Soviet Union in 1957. And this is only 58 centimeters in diameter with 4 antennas sending signals down to the Earth. And it has taken 96.2 minutes to complete one revolution. And it has lasted only for 22 days. After 22 days, the battery power is gone and they lost their signals. It is there in the orbit only for 3 months. And the first satellite to relay voice signals is called a SCORE. SCORE means Signal Communication by Orbital Relay Equipment. It has transmitted the first voice signal from Cape Canaveral, Florida in 1958. It broadcasted a message like peace on earth and goodwill towards men everywhere. And next, PS came out with, a person called PS came out with orbital radio relays, where he published in 1955, where he clearly calculated the amount of transmitting power or signals required so that you can transmit the signals to the satellite and receive back the signals. And then Mr. Rosen developed spin stabilization technology. What do you mean by spin stabilization technology? When the satellite is moving around the Earth, it may tilt in any direction, but still it has to be stable with respect to the Earth. That's what we call spin stabilization technology. And then they founded NASA in 1958, which is the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. NASA first product is Echo 1 satellite. They built with the collaboration with AT&T Bell Labs, where Mr. Pierce led the Bell Labs. There's Echo 1 satellite which is launched in August 12, 1960, which is a 30.5 meters aluminum coated balloon which can reflect signals from the ground. No other instruments, only simple aluminum coated balloon which reflects signals from the ground. So it reflected the signal, then we call it as a passive satellite. No active work, only passive satellite. Next, Echo 2 is launched in 1964, January 25 by NASA. And next, Bell Labs has developed Telstar 1, the first active communication. Active communication means which can communicate both sides, to and fro. That is done there by Telstar. And Telstar transmitted the first telephone call between American President Lyndon Johnson and AT&T Chairman Frederick Kaplan. They're the first telephone call between Europe and North America, which is done by first satellite Telstar 1. Next, a Rosen team from Hughes Aircraft, they send the first geostationary satellite they send a satellite to geostationary orbit, but they lost it immediately in the launch. That means it's not successful. And Syncom 2 is the first successful geosynchronous satellite which is launched into the orbit in 1963. And then the first Intel satellite in 1965 on April 6th is being launched by the Rosen team, which is the first operational commercial satellite which provided regular telecommunication services for North America and Europe. Followed by that, Intel 2B, 2D, which covered entire Pacific Ocean and Indian Ocean range. And first human onto the moon by 1969, July 20, which has been telecasted throughout the world over 600 million television viewers. And it followed by Soviet Union, Molniya satellites, and then Canada, and then Indonesia, they have launched their satellites. This is a brief history of satellites from various nations. And the three generic orbits which are available are low Earth orbit, medium Earth orbit, and geostationary or geosynchronous orbit. In LEO orbit means it is from 100 miles to 1000 miles above Earth. If you place the satellite above 100 miles to 1000 miles above the Earth, we call it as a LEO orbit. At LEO orbit, the satellite will move at a speed of 7.8 kilometers per second. Per second, the satellite will move at a speed of 7.8 kilometers. So it takes 90 minutes to circle the Earth. Next comes MEO satellite, which is placed at 10,000 kilometers to 20,000 kilometers. And if you observe, between 1600 kilometers to 10,000 kilometers, they won't place any satellites because very high radiations will be there, which are very highly vulnerable to electronic components, which we call it as Van Allen radiation belt. In that area, the electronic components cannot have a long life because of the radiations. So they won't use the height between like 1,000 miles to 6,300 miles for any satellite launch. They won't place satellites there. And then geostationary orbit or geosatellite orbit, that is 22,236 miles above the Earth or 35,786 kilometers. It takes 24 hours to complete one rotation around the Earth. That is exactly 23 hours, 56 minutes and 4 seconds. Now if you place in that geosynchronous orbit or geo orbit, it looks stationary with respect to the Earth. Then it doesn't need to move the ground station antennas to track the satellite. But if you place it in LEO or MEO, you have to move your ground station antennas so that you must always get in connected with LEO or MEO orbit where it's rotating. You have to be in continuous touch with it by rotating your antennas. But in geostationary orbit, it doesn't need to do that. Okay, this is minimum information. In GEO, you can use 3 to 4 satellites to cover the entire world. In MEO, you need 10 plus satellites. In LEO, you need closely 20 plus satellites to cover the entire globe. So even the number of satellites required will change. So based on the application, if you observe, for the signal to move from the Earth to the satellite, and to come back, it takes 0.22 seconds. The ground నుంచి మనం పంపించే సిగ్నల్ అండి శాటిలైట్ వెళ్ళి వెనక్కి రావడానికి 0.22 seconds పడుతుంది. That's why we won't use geostationary satellites for voice communication because of the delay. In electronics, 0.22 seconds is a very huge delay. Generally, milliseconds, microseconds, we'll talk about microseconds, not that. Okay? So students who are struggling there, those 3 students, you can kindly leave the hall. Black shirt, white and this. While Muguru everyone కూర్చున్నారు. I'm sorry, because I'm a guest here, I won't ask you to get out. If it's my college, I'll ask them to get out. Those 3 students sitting there. Kindly get out. So now they are successful. They achieved what they want. Any other who want that achievement? So if you're not interested, you can I told in the starting. Because giving lectures is once we prepare is very easy. But listening is not so easy. Until unless you have interest, you cannot listen. Just forced to sit here for an event, it's tough for you. I can understand. That's why I told you in the starting. Those who are interested, kindly listen. Those who have questions, you can ask any number of questions, anytime. And I told I'll be going very fast because to cover as many topics as possible. But you can stop me wherever you want. Is it clear? So those who are not interested, you are welcome to go away. Apart from this, there are few fixed satellite launch stations in the world. Every country has one location. For India, what is the location? Sriharikota. When entire India is there, why they have selected Sriharikota? What is the reason for it? Have you ever thought about it? Because it is close to Sullurpet, I am happy. No, the reason is near to, that is one answer. What is the other answer? Your friend told close to Bay of Bengal. Second answer. It is close to the Bay of Bengal is the major answer. The reason is, once you send the satellite, how many of you see the image? I'll come to that, I'll show you. Once it starts flying, whenever the fuel is over, just leave these parts. They just leave the parts and throw it. Not throw it, just leave it. Then they come and fall down. If it falls on any country, will anybody accept it? No. It has to go over the Bay of Bengal. So those parts will come, which have come down, will fall in the Bay of Bengal only. And you also, I think, observe, I'll show you the diagram also. And India sent one satellite where it again comes back to Earth. They send a satellite, goes into the space, moves in the LEO orbit, and then again comes back. When it comes back, it has to fall down somewhere. Where it has to fall? It has fallen in the Bay of Bengal. And from there they are collected. Recently you have seen, Sunita Williams madam, when they came back, through that parachutes, that capsule has fallen down in which ocean? It has fallen in the ocean. Do you remember it? That happened recently. Even dolphins also came to greet her. Dolphins there came, we just added the points to, they came to greet her. It has to fall in water only. So they'll fix like that. Even for India, they are planning a Gaganyaan, where again it comes back and falls in the ocean. The location fixed is Gujarat, Arabian Sea near Gujarat. It did not launch, but they planned exactly from where it has to launch, from where it has to go, when it has to come back, where the capsule has to fall also, everything is pinpointly focused. That's planning should be there. So we can learn a lot of things from satellite or ISRO plannings. They plan at least 10 years ahead. 10 years ahead. Huge planning. Very precise following, and they'll execute it. And children, you need to plan only for 4 years for a good life. If you complete your engineering properly, get good marks, good knowledge, you have a very bright career. So planning for 4 years for your individual career is so tough, but space or ISRO agencies are planning for more than 10 years for the country's or nation's progress. So it's left to you, how you plan. So if you see the few stations given there, that is Kennedy Space Center at Cape Canaveral, Florida, and then Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan, Korean French Guiana, Vandenberg in California, Jiachen in China, Tangsima Island in Japan, and Sriharikota in India. These are the few stations from where they launch the rockets. Apart from the standard LEO, MEO and GEO, LEO, MEO and GEO, there are two more orbits, polar orbit and sun synchronous orbit. So without going to theory part of it, we can observe this image. If the satellite is moving from north to south, close to the poles, it doesn't need to be exactly at the poles. It can be 10 to 20 degrees angle away from the pole. If they cross from north pole to south pole, we call it as the polar orbit. If it synchronizes with sun while moving, we call it as sun synchronous orbit. Normal satellites, they move from east-west, but polar orbits north to south. And transfer orbits are geostationary orbits. What is transfer orbit? When you are moving around, example, let us take, there is an earth in the center. If it is moving equally in a circle path, no problem. If you are moving the elliptical path, your goal is to move to higher orbits. Then you must find exactly the transitory orbit from where if you move, you consume less fuel. What is the exact location from where if you move to the higher orbit, less fuel is consumed. I will show you a few diagrams to explain that. And then other points comes as Lagrange points. Lagrange points are points where there are 5 points, selected 5 points between Earth and Sun. There are 5 Lagrange points between Earth and Sun and 5 Lagrange points between Earth and Moon. What is this Lagrange points? We take Earth and Sun. They are huge bodies, very huge body. Earth gravitational pull and Sun gravitational pull is not same. Their size is not same. Two huge masses rotating with the different speeds, with different masses and space. Now if you space a very small object in between them, what is that object? A satellite, which is moving or placing at the center point. Now because of this pull of Earth and Sun, gradually it moves to one point. Then you lose the control. Then there are few points where, which you name them as Lagrange points. If you place at that point, at that particular position, the satellite will be stable. It will not move close to the Earth, it will not go close to the Sun. It will be stable there. Like that, there are 5 points. If you place there, that will be stable there. If you move away from that, it will be attracted either close to the Sun or close to the Earth, and you move miss your target. And our Aditya mission, India's Aditya mission, they placed the satellite in Lagrange point 1, L1, which is 150 million kilometers from the Earth. And there are two organizations, there are few organizations which decides which frequency you have to use, at what orbit you have to place your satellite. Because I said in the introduction, more than 2,000 satellites, if it doesn't place them accurately at particular positions, they may collide, and then even disputes, wars come, and you lose your satellites. So International Telecommunication Union, ITU, will decide at what height or which position you have to launch your satellite. And from India, we have TRAI, Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, to decide about frequency allocation and satellite orbits. And from USA, we have FCC, Federal Communications Commission. And this is one sample image. This is the image of Sriharikota, where you can find 2 launch pads and 3 satellites are there. 3 satellites or 3 launch vehicles. There are 3 launch vehicles which are shown. The first one is PSLV, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. The second one is GSLV. And the third one is GSLV Mark III. GSLV Mark III. What is the, you need to observe from this diagram. If you observe from the PSLV, so you find some strap-ons here. We call them as the strap-ons. It's not for a show. అదేదో చూడడానికి అందంగా ఉంటుందని పెట్టలేదండి అక్కడ. చిన్నప్పుడు మనం రాకెట్లతో ఆడుకుంటాం కదా దీపావళి, అలా కాదు. There are some strap-ons here, small pieces here. Those have the fuel required for initial boost. What is the goal in this? We are calling it as vehicle. We are not calling it as satellite. Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. అంటే ఇది ఏం చేస్తుందండి, శాటిలైట్ని తీసుకువెళ్ళి మీరు ఎక్కడ వదిలేయాలో అక్కడ వదిలేస్తుంది. అంటే ఇట్స్ ఓన్లీ వెహికల్ టు టేక్ ఇట్. అంటే మీ కార్ ఉంది, ఈ కార్లో ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళాలి, కార్లో కూర్చున్నా డ్రైవ్ చేసి అక్కడికి వెళ్ళిపోయారు. ఈ లాంచ్ వెహికల్ ఏం చేస్తుంది, శాటిలైట్ తీసుకువెళ్ళి ఎక్కడైతే మీరు ఆకాశంలో వదిలేయాలని డిసైడ్ చేశారో అక్కడికే వదిలేస్తుంది, అంతే దాని పని. టు గో టు దట్ ప్లేస్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద రిక్వైర్మెంట్? ఇట్ నీడ్స్ ఎనర్జీ. మీరు కారు తిరుపతి వెళ్ళాలండి, ఏం కావాలి, కారు ఉంటే సరిపోతుందా? డీజిల్ ఉండాలి, పెట్రోల్ ఉండాలి కదా. కారు ఉంది, దారిలో డీజిల్ అయిపోయింది, ముందుకు కదులుతుందా? నో. సో ద మేజర్ థింగ్ ఇస్ it needs the fuel required to travel to the required place and the accuracy at which it has to go and then leave the satellite there. So these are the initial strap-ons. When it launches the fire, it moves up and they ignite these strap-ons. ఒకసారి లాంచ్ అయిన తర్వాత అప్పుడు strap-ons 4 ఇగ్నైట్ చేస్తారంటే ఆన్ చేస్తారు. The fuel will be burned and then they'll go up to certain height. Once they go to certain height, 2 strap-ons, fuel is over, they'll drop down. ఎప్పుడైతే 2 strap-ons ఫ్యూల్ అయిపోతుందో అది వెయిట్ కదండి, ఫ్యూల్ లేదు మనకెందుకు, అది కింద పడేస్తారు. ఆ పైన నుంచి ఆటోమేటిక్గా డిస్కనెక్ట్ అయిపోయి కింద సముద్రంలో బే ఆఫ్ బెంగాల్లో పడిపోతారు. నెక్స్ట్ 2 more strap-ons 4 ఉన్నాయి, ఆ 2లో ఫ్యూల్ యూజ్ చేసుకుంటారు, ఇంకొంత దూరం వెళ్తారు, అక్కడ 2 అయిపోతుంది, అది పడేస్తారు కింద. దెన్ దే యూస్ different stages here. You find white, red and white. Solid propellant, liquid propellant. They use solid and liquid propellants. Then they fire that. They go to the required height. Once the fuel is over, they again drop down. Like that, it is a continuous journey. And stage by stage, they leave it. Once the fuel is over, they will leave it. By the time they reach the destination, your satellite will be in the top one in this place. After going there, it opens, throws the satellite at the required position and then it starts working. That's what it happens. So Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle is used to carry the satellite and leave it in the required place and position. Now why we have PSLV, GSLV, Mark 3? What is the difference? మనకి ట్రైన్లు ఉన్నాయి కదండి, ప్యాసింజర్, ఎక్స్ప్రెస్, సూపర్ ఫాస్ట్, వందే మాత్రం. డిఫరెన్స్ ఏంటి? స్పీడ్, ఎంత స్పీడ్తో వెళ్తుంది అన్నది. హియర్ ద డిఫరెన్స్ ఇస్ హౌ మచ్ వెయిట్ ఇట్ క్యాన్ లిఫ్ట్ అండ్ రీచ్ టు ద పొజిషన్, టు ద లియో, మియో ఆర్ జియో స్టేషనరీ ఆర్బిట్. సో ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు టేక్ మోర్ వెయిట్ టు లాంగర్ distance, that is geo, you need more fuel. And then the GSLV Mark 3, they started using cryogenic engines in place of liquid and solid propellant. Cryogenic engines, they occupy less space and they have more fuel energy generation capability. Actually, we used to take cryogenic engines from Russia. They are huge. Then slowly India started developing, and now we are even successful in preparing cryogenic engines, but not 100% successful. But PSLV, we are 100% successful. That's why we call PSLV as workhorse of ISRO. We call it workhorse because it is 100% assured success from PSLV. But GSLV still need to improve. So these are the list of huge list of satellites launched by India, either designed, collaborated or asked other countries to launch our satellites. They started their journey in 1975, April 19, by launching Aryabhatta. Then Bhaskara, Rohini, like all this. It's a big list. I just insert one series, Rohini series, ISR series. It goes on. GSAT series. And then you can observe Chandrayaan 1 here in October 2008. And you can observe launch date and launch vehicle. Majority of the vehicles are PSLV, if you observe in the table. Majority are PSLV vehicles only. And in this you can observe nano satellites which are launched by students. Jugnu, SRM sat. This is satellites launched by students. They call it the nano satellites. I'm just skipping or going fast so that we can go into the real topics or images where you find more interest than this. Chandrayaan 3, Aditya L1. Next, please. So this is the first initial journey of Indian satellites in Kerala. In one of the church in Kerala, they started their journey. So this is the first satellite where our scientists are assembling the components, Aryabhatta. And you can observe one of the scientists taking a spare part of the satellite on a cycle, on a bicycle. One on cycle, others by walking. Again, spare part of the cycle. 1975 we launched Aryabhatta. This is images close to 73, 74. Have you found anyone known here? మీకు తెలిసిన వాళ్ళు ఎవరైనా కనబడుతున్నారా ఇందులో? మీకు తెలిసిన వాళ్ళు ఎవరైనా ఉన్నారా? మీ బంధువులు కానీ లేరా? ఉన్నారు మీకు తెలిసిన వాళ్ళు. Who is this person? Dr. Abdul Kalam. In the initial days of working in the space. See the way the journey they started. Sitting on the floor. Very less resources. When Mr. Vikram Sarabhai coined the idea of satellite missions for India, everybody laughed at them. What is this? In 70s he has coined this idea. Sarina road level India ke, food level, basic facilities level. You are talking about space. But he convinced the then Prime Minister said, no, we should not be second to anyone. We have to make a beginning. Let us go forward. With his mission, we are able to move forward. Now we are one of the leading country in space technologies. Top 4, 5. We have a lot of journey to do, but we are top 4 and 5 list in the world. So these are dividends which you can get from the spaces. You can get a lot of applications, technology development, engineering applications, science applications by getting connectivity, broadcasting, observing Earth, satellite navigation, and a lot of benefits to common man from materials and medicines, etc. He is Mr. Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, who dreamed very high about Indian satellite communication. And this is how we started with launch vehicles, the journey of launch vehicles. Started with the sounding rockets, huge sound. Started with sounding rockets, satellite launch vehicle, augmented satellite launch vehicle, polar satellite launch vehicle, GeoSat or GSLV, and then GSLV Mark III. That is the journey from 1963 to till date. And the starting is 2.5 kg weight. They started lifting up, and now we can take up to 4,000 kgs to launch in GEO and 10,000 kgs in LEO. That is the power we have now. From 2.5 kgs to, we have gone up to 4,000 kgs in LEO. So this is how the generation of development. What did we need to learn here? Even PSLV, they have taken a lot of time to develop. PSLV first stage, we started with 850 kgs payload. Next PSLV core alone, PSLV XL up to 1750 kgs weight they can lift. These are developments of GSLV from 2001 to 2013, where they got the first successful Indian cryo flight. And these are the spare parts or separate parts of GEO or GSLV. You can see the third largest strap-on in the world. In this they'll fill the fuel. మీరు ఊహించగలరండి ఎంత సైజ్ ఉందో? There is a human being also standing there. It is nearly 10 times height of a human being. Such a huge strap-ons where they fill the fuel and lift the huge mass into the space. This is the same which I showed previously. This is a diagram of complete assembly of Aryabhatta. This is the developing stage, and this is the finished stage. And there you can observe, using helicopters, they are moving up. ఎందుకోసం అంటే మన టెస్ట్ ఫెసిలిటీస్ లేవు అటు ఇటు కదులుతుంటే ఏమవుతుందో చూడాలి. వైబ్రేషన్ టెస్ట్. వన్ ఫనీ థింగ్ ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు టెల్ వైబ్రేషన్ టెస్ట్ చేయాలండి. అంటే ఇలా కదులుతుంటే ఏం జరుగుతుందో మన శాటిలైట్ పైకి వెళ్తున్నప్పుడు హ్యూజ్గా షేక్ అవుతుంది కదా, అప్పుడు కూడా కరెక్ట్ పనిచేస్తుందో తెలియాలి అంటే వైబ్రేషన్ టెస్ట్ చేయాలన్నారు. బట్ ఇండియా వి డజంట్ హ్యావ్ ద వైబ్రేషన్ టెస్ట్ ఫెసిలిటీ. దెన్ ఎవ్రీబడి ఆస్ వాట్ షెల్ వి డూ, ఏం చేద్దామని అడిగితే ఒక సైంటిస్ట్ ఏం సలహా ఇచ్చారు తెలుసా అండి, ఒక ఎడ్ల బండి తీసుకొచ్చి దాంట్లో శాటిలైట్ పెట్టి మన 2 పల్లెటూరులు తిప్పుతూ ఉంటే సరిపోతుందండి అన్నారు. నిజంగా చేశారండి. ఎడ్ల బండి మీద పెట్టి మన శాటిలైట్ డిజైన్ చేసిన శాటిలైట్ని 2 పల్లెటూరులు తిప్పారు. అంటే రోడ్లు లేవు కదా అప్పుడు, అప్ అండ్ డౌన్ తిరిగి చివరికి 2 ఊర్లు తిరిగి వచ్చిన తర్వాత టెస్ట్ చేస్తే ఇంతకుముందు ఎలా ఫంక్షన్ అయిందో అలాగే ఫంక్షన్ అయింది. ఇట్ ఈస్ టెస్టెడ్ ఫర్ వైబ్రేషనల్ టెస్ట్, లాంచ్డ్. దట్ ఈస్ హౌ దే స్టార్టెడ్, నాట్ విత్ ఆల్ ఫెసిలిటీస్. ఇప్పుడు జనరేషన్ ఏమంటామంటే ఫెసిలిటీ కొంచెం తగ్గినా వెరీ హార్డ్ టు కాన్సన్ట్రేట్, చాలా కష్టం ఉంది కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ చేయడానికి. అంత అవసరం అంటే కష్టపడడం అలవాటైతే ఎక్కడైనా సుఖపడవచ్చు, సుఖపడడం అలవాటు పడితే కష్టపడలే. సో మన పెద్దవాళ్ళు గ్రేట్ సైంటిస్ట్ జర్నీ అలాగే స్టార్ట్ అయిందో చూడండి. అండ్ దెన్ దీస్ ఆర్ ద లాట్ ఆఫ్ స్పేస్ క్రాఫ్ట్ యాక్టివిటీస్. అంటే కేవలం లాంచ్ చేయడం, క్లాప్స్ కొట్టడమే కాదండి, ఎన్ని అప్లికేషన్స్ ఉన్నాయో చూడండి. హ్యూజ్ లిస్ట్ బియాండ్ అవర్ థాట్ ప్రాసెస్. These are the IRS satellites which are used for Earth observation, and this is imaging capability. They started with 1 kilometer range, now it is less than 1 meter. And మనం IRS నుంచి ఇమేజ్ తీస్తే resolution is now less than 1 meter. In this diagram I shown up to 1 meter, but now it is less than 1 meter. That is the resolution we are able to get now. These are few images from South India and Sri Lanka taken from IRS satellite. Image of Bangalore, and these are the applications we have. Space-based service for community outreach, and then different applications. I'm just moving. Small satellites which are launched by students. AnuSat by Anna University, TWSat from Tamil Nadu, one of the university, HAMSat, StudSat, SRM Sat by Chennai, Juglu from IIT Kharagpur. More than 12 satellites are launched by students, which are called as nano satellites. If few colleges can come forward and apply for design of small satellites, ISRO is ready to support the colleges funding and technical support so that you can design satellites. So this is what I told you. Coming back to the Earth. So in 2007, January 10th, they launched the satellite into the space, and January 2007, that means after 12 days, the satellite came back again into the Earth orbit and fall down on Bay of Bengal. Launch అయ్యి వెళ్ళండి 12 days తర్వాత మళ్ళీ వచ్చి బే ఆఫ్ బెంగాల్లో ల్యాండ్ అయింది. దిస్ ఇస్ డన్ ఇన్ 2007. దిస్ ఇస్ ద స్టార్టింగ్ స్టెప్ టు ప్లాన్ ఫర్ గగన్యాన్. ఇది ఎందుకు చేశారండి? గగన్యాన్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ చేయాలి కనుక మనుషులను పంపించి శాటిలైట్ పైకి పంపించి 3 పంపించి కొన్ని రోజులు ఉన్న తర్వాత మళ్ళీ వాళ్ళు వెనక్కి తీసుకురావాలని ప్లాన్ చేస్తున్నారు. మనుషులు పంపించిన తర్వాత సారీ మిస్ అయిపోయిందంటే ఏమైపోతారు వాళ్ళు 3 తిరిగి రారు కదండి. యూ కెనాట్ ఎఫర్ట్ టు లూజ్ వాట్ యూ కెనాట్ గెట్ ఇట్ బ్యాక్. సో దట్స్ వై దే స్టార్టెడ్ ఫస్ట్ విత్ ఓన్లీ మిషన్. నౌ దే ఆర్ ప్లానింగ్ విత్ రోబోట్స్. నెక్స్ట్ స్టేజెస్ దే సెండ్ astronauts which they bring back. So these are the photographs related to Chandrayaan mission that has happened in October 22, 2008. It's a master control station equipment which is used there. And then Chandrayaan 2. The difference between Chandrayaan 1 and 2 is Chandrayaan 1 satellite went and started revolving around the Earth, moon. Chandrayaan 2 not only revolving around the moon, it also sends a lander which goes and lands on the moon, which is this lander. This orbiter will move around the moon. This will go and land on the moon, and from this you will get a rover which moves on the moon. That is the plan. They named it as Vikram lander. But unfortunately, while they are trying to land the lander, it got crashed. I think you remember it. It went very close and now just about to land. When it's about to land on the moon, it just fall down and got crashed. And the Chandrayaan-3, they are successful. They are successful in sending the rover, lander and rover also. This is the plan how they are ejected. I told they have done it at a very low cost, 4 rupees per kilometer, but they have taken a long time. How they are able to do is, from Earth, they can launch here and directly go there. But if you want to directly go there, you need huge power to pull that weight and go to that location. చాలా హై పవర్ కావాలండి, అంత చాలా కష్టం. అందుకని ఏం చేస్తారు మన వాళ్ళు, తక్కువ పవర్తో తక్కువ ఎనర్జీ యూజ్ చేసే విధంగా ఫస్ట్ దే సింప్లీ రొటేటెడ్ ఆన్ ద ఎర్త్, అపోజీ పెరీజీ అంటే ఎలిప్స్ షేప్లో ఇలా తిరిగారండి. ఒకసారి ఇలా తిరగడం మొదలు పెడితే అలా తిరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది, ఫ్యూల్ ఎక్కువ కన్జ్యూమ్ అవ్వదు. జస్ట్ ఇలా తిరిగి ఇలా వస్తున్నప్పుడు కొంచెం చిన్న ఇంజెక్షన్ ఇచ్చారు, ఇంజెక్షన్ ఇన్ ద సెన్స్ ఇంజెక్ట్ ద ఫ్యూల్, జస్ట్ కొంచెం పక్కన మూవ్, ఈ మూవ్ అయినప్పుడు మళ్ళీ తిరిగేస్తుంది. అంటే ఇక్కడ ఉంది కదండి, ఇక్కడికి వచ్చినప్పుడు కొంచెం మూవ్ చేస్తే చాలా, మూవ్ చేయడానికి చాలా మైన్యూట్ ఎనర్జీ కావాలి. ఒక 1 degree పొజిషన్ మూవ్ చేస్తారు, దెన్ ఇట్ గోస్ ఆఫ్, దెన్ అగైన్ ఇట్ గోస్ ఆఫ్. అంటే జస్ట్ స్మాల్ చేంజ్తో ఇలా రొటేట్ అవుతూ లాంగ్ డిస్టెన్స్ కవర్ చేస్తూ దెన్ ఫైనలీ ఇట్ గోస్, దెన్ అగైన్ ఇట్ హెస్ టు కమ్ డౌన్, స్లోగా తగ్గించుకుంటూ ఇట్ రీచ్ ద డెస్టినేషన్. అంటే మన పెద్దవాళ్ళు చెప్తారు చూడండి, నీ ముక్కు ఎక్కడుందంటే ఇలా చుట్టూ తిరిగి చూపించారంటారు కదా, అలాగా తిన్నంగా వెళ్ళాలంటే ఎక్కువ ఫోర్స్ కావాలి, ఎక్కువ ఎనర్జీ కావాలి, ఎక్కువ కాస్ట్ అవుతుంది, క్రయోజనిక్ ఇంజిన్స్ వాడాలి, అంత మన దగ్గర లేవు కనుక తక్కువ అమౌంట్తో తక్కువ ఫ్యూల్ ఖర్చుతో ఎక్కువ రోజులు ఓపిక పట్టి, భారతీయులకు ఓపిక ఎక్కువ కదండి, అందుకని ఓపికగా అలా రొటేట్ చేసుకుంటూ అండ్ రీచ్ అండ్ దే ఆర్ సక్సెస్ఫుల్ ఏబుల్ టు రీచ్ ఇట్. దిస్ ఇస్ the moon spacecraft view and how the Mars mission happened around the Earth and then towards the Mars. When it is moving towards the Mars, how many of you know it? There's a huge wind force happened. మన చూడ ఉదయాన్నే గాలి వచ్చింది, ఆ గాలికి ఏవో చెట్లు అన్నీ అటు ఇటు తిరిగిపోయాయి. అక్కడ సోలార్లో హ్యూజ్ పార్టికల్స్, హై డస్ట్ పార్టికల్స్, హ్యూజ్ స్టార్మ్ కేమ్. And during that storm, they are unable to get the control of the spacecraft. And they know that they cannot get the control of the spacecraft for 3 hours. పంపించేటప్పుడే కొంత టైం వరకు మనకు ఆ ప్లేస్లో మనకు కనెక్షన్ ఉండదు అని ముందే తెలుసుకున్నారు. దెన్ దే సెండ్ ఇన్ అ సెల్ఫ్ ఆర్బిటింగ్ మోడ్. అంటే ఆ పీరియడ్లో ఎవరు కంట్రోల్ చేయకపోయినా సెల్ఫ్ కంట్రోల్ చేసుకుంటే అటానమస్ మోడ్లో వెళ్ళిపోతుంది వెహికల్. అలా డిజైన్ చేశారండి. అంటే ఆకాశంలోకి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత ఎక్కడ ఏ మార్పులు వస్తాయి ఆ మార్పులు కరెక్ట్గా ఊహించుకొని క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసి ఆ టైంలో మనకు కంట్రోల్ ఉండదు, సెల్ఫ్ కంట్రోల్గా రన్ అవ్వాలి, ఆర్బిట్ సెల్ఫ్ కంట్రోల్ వెళ్ళాలి అని ప్లాన్ చేసి పంపించారు. దట్ యాక్యురేట్లీ డన్ అండ్ ఇట్ రీచ్ ద బామ్. ఎస్పెషలీ దట్ autonomous control during that period is an excellent work by Indian satellites. ఇంకెక్కడో ఇక్కడ చిన్న మార్కెట్లో చిన్నపిల్లలు తప్పడిపోతే కనబడరండి. స్పేస్లో ఎక్కడ శాటిలైట్ కొన్ని అవర్స్ మీ కంట్రోల్ లేకపోతే మీకు ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది? సో దట్ దే ఆర్ క్యాలిక్యులేటెడ్ వెల్ ఇన్ అడ్వాన్స్ అండ్ దే డన్ ఇట్. సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద గగన్యాన్ ఫోటోగ్రాఫ్. గగన్యాన్ అంటున్నాం కదండి. ఇన్ దిస్ దే విల్ హ్యావ్ 3 astronomers. మన ఇండియా నుంచి వెళ్ళబోయే 3 astronomers ఇక్కడ ఉంటారు 3 ప్లేస్లో, 1, 2, 3. దిస్ ఇస్ ద ఇంజన్ దట్ దే విల్ ప్లేస్ హియర్. దిస్ ఇస్ ద లొకేషన్ అండ్ దే సెండ్ ఇట్ యూజింగ్ ద పిఎస్ఎల్వి. పిఎస్ఎల్వి యూజ్ చేసి పంపిస్తారు. వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత ఏమవుతుంది? ఇట్ మూవ్స్ ఫ్రమ్ హియర్, falls one of the strap-ons, all this, then they enter into the LEO, low Earth orbit, move around the LEO for 5 days. After moving for 5 days, then again it has to come back. It has to come back. Only this module, all the energy undeposited, only this module has to come back. In this module, some fuel is left away. That is the plan. And then they started coming down. When they are coming down, they have to reduce the velocity. అంటే పైకి వెళ్తున్నప్పుడు ఎంత స్పీడ్లో వెళ్ళారండి? ఆ స్పీడ్లో కిందకి రాకూడదు కదా. దే హ్యావ్ టు రిడ్యూస్ ద వెలాసిటీ బై అప్లైయింగ్ దట్ ఫ్యూల్ స్లోలీ, గ్రాడ్యువల్గా వస్తూ వన్స్ దే కమ్ టు అ పర్టికులర్ పొజిషన్. ఇక్కడికి వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఏం చేయాలి? they have to eject it. Eject it means this also will be removed. Only this capsule where human beings, Manshulu unnaro, adokka separate అయిపోతుంది. And then using parachutes, they'll bring it down and they fall it in the ocean. Then they'll bring them out. Have you observed the photograph of Madam Sunita Williams spacecraft? It looks same like this. Similar అండి, ఇలాగే ఉంటుంది. ఇది వచ్చి నీటిలో పడుతుంది, ఇలా వెళ్ళి లియో నుంచి వచ్చి ఇక్కడి నుంచి పారాచూట్స్ యూజ్ చేసి దే ఫాల్ ఇన్ ద సీ. దెన్ దే బ్రింగ్ అవుట్ ద astronauts. This is the plan. Gaganyaan, 3 astronauts. You can observe when they have planned, long back. And this is the huge list of launch vehicles and space missions in the last 40 years. If you can have time, each and every satellite we can discuss and share the information. And up to 2025, what are the plannings they have, including space docking mission. This presentation I prepared some 2 years before. They had the space docking plan long back. So like that they plan ahead, well ahead. And then they're able to complete all that. And in each and every mission, what are the sensors they're using? మీ టైం ఎంతవరకు చెప్తే ఆపేద్దామా, ఇలా మీరు ఎంతవరకు చెప్పారండి మీకు ఆర్గనైజర్స్? వాట్ ఇస్ ద టైం? ఆల్రెడీ అయిపోయిందా? దెన్ జస్ట్ దిస్ ఇస్ అ డాకింగ్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్. ఐ క్లోజ్ ఇట్ ఇన్ 5 minutes, ఇస్ ఓకే? థ్యాంక్ యూ అనుకుంటున్నారా మనసులో? ఆబ్వియస్ అండి, ఎవరైనా అలాగే అనుకుంటారు. 125 ఆకలి వేస్తుంటుంది. సో దిస్ ఇస్ డాకింగ్ ఎఫెక్ట్. So they are coming close. This is one satellite, the other satellite. They come close up to a particular distance, and that is operated from the ground station, and then they slowly lock it. When they lock it, they send the material which they brought to the other satellite. That's what we call space docking experiment. International collaborations. We can have plenty of collaborations with and examples in tsunami వచ్చినప్పుడు ఏం జరిగింది, ఇమేజెస్ ఎలా తెలుసుకోవచ్చు, శాటిలైట్ ఇమేజెస్ ఏంటి, తర్వాత అప్లికేషన్స్, ఎన్ని రకాల అప్లికేషన్స్ ఉన్నాయి, తర్వాత మనం ఇమేజెస్ నుంచి అడవి ప్రాంతం ఎంత ఉంది, ఎడారులు ఎంత ఉన్నాయి, పంట పొలాలు ఎంత ఉన్నాయి, ఏ పంటలు పండుతున్నాయి, ఈ సంవత్సరం ఎంత పంట వస్తుంది, అన్నీ ప్రిడిక్ట్ చేయొచ్చు. ముందుగానే ఇమేజెస్ నుంచి ఈ సంవత్సరం వరి ఎంత పండుతుంది, లేకపోతే శనగలు ఎంత పండుతాయి, ధాన్యం గోధుమలు ఎంత వస్తాయి, ఇవన్నీ దేని నుంచి చెప్తారండి? ఇమేజెస్ తీసుకొని ఇమేజెస్ అనలైజ్ చేసి చెప్తారు. దిస్ ద డిఫరెంట్ మ్యాప్స్ దే టేక్ అండ్ దెన్ ప్రిడిక్ట్ వెల్ అహెడ్. సంవత్సరం అయిపోయిన తర్వాత సారీ ఈ సంవత్సరం బియ్యం సరిగా లేదంటే కుదరదు కదండి. ముందే ప్లాన్ చేసే విధంగా పంటలు పండుతున్నప్పుడే అన్నీ చెప్పి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇస్తారు. అగైన్ దే విల్ సెండ్ ఇట్ బ్యాక్ ఫర్ డెసిషన్స్. దిస్ ఇస్ సీ కోస్ట్. ఎక్కడ ఎక్కువ చేపలు పడతాయి, ఊరికి వెళ్ళి వలేసేయండి, వస్తే చేపలు పట్టుకోవడానికి వదిలేండి అంటే చాలా వేస్ట్ కదండి. దే విల్ ఆల్సో డిసైడ్ ద లొకేషన్స్ వేర్ దే గెట్ మోర్ ఫిష్. దిస్ ఇస్ హౌ ద వేస్ట్ ల్యాండ్, హౌ మచ్ వేస్ట్ ల్యాండ్ ఇస్ దేర్. ప్రతి సంవత్సరానికి ఇది ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అండి. ఒరిస్సాలో 2009-10 ఎంత క్రాప్ వస్తుంది అనేది ఇమేజెస్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసి చూశారు. దే గాట్ 95% accuracy. It's only one example for one state that they will do for every states. One satellite, how much area it is covering? Okay, satellite trace, it moves across the complete India from one corner to the other. One IRS satellite. This is for mechanical engineers. So how you design a spacecraft? What mechanical strengths are required? How you place all the components in such small area? చాలా తక్కువ ఏరియా ఉంటుంది కదండి, అంత తక్కువ ఏరియాలో అన్నీ ప్లేస్ చేయాలి. ప్లస్ సెన్సర్స్ ఎలా ప్లేస్ చేయాలి, నైట్ టైం ఏం పని చేస్తాయి, డే టైం ఏం పని చేస్తాయి, ఎప్పుడు ఏ పొజిషన్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు ఆ కాంపోనెంట్ మనకు అవసరం అవుతుంది, అవన్నీ ముందే ప్లాన్ చేసి డిజైన్ చేయాలండి. అందులో ఉంటే సబ్సిస్టెన్స్, ఒక్కొక్క స్పేస్ శాటిలైట్లు ఉంటే ఎన్ని సబ్సిస్టెన్స్ ఉంటాయో చూడండి. ఫ్రేమ్ స్ట్రక్చర్ కాన్ఫిగరేషన్స్. This is what done by mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, interconnections, how many wires, how they need to test for the electrical connections. And while sending out huge vibrations, huge variation in temperatures, అవన్నీ తట్టుకొని ఉండే విధంగా టెస్ట్ చేయాలి. దిస్ ఇస్ హౌ దే ప్లేస్ ద శాటిలైట్. టాప్ మోస్ట్ ప్లేస్లో ఇక్కడ శాటిలైట్ పెడతారు. ఓకే, సో ఐ థింక్ 2 more minutes. This is different stages of analysis, different nature of tests which can be done. This is Chandrayaan-10, where you can see there the satellites with a vibration test, acoustic test. Acoustic test అంటే huge sound, high decibel sound వస్తే ఏమవుతుంది, high vibration వస్తే ఏం జరుగుతాయి, అన్ని టెస్ట్ చేయాలండి. ఏ ఒకటి ఆ పర్వాలేదులో వెళ్తుంది పంపించేయాలంటే ఏమవుతుంది, we'll miss it. And it is not only crores of rupees, it's the pride of the nation. If you are able to get success, it's a great pride. And this is deployment. This wire చూసారన్నది with the electrical signal it cuts the wire. అంటే మనం స్ట్రాప్-ఆన్స్ అన్నాం, డిఫరెంట్ స్టేజెస్ అన్నాం. అక్కడికి వెళ్ళిన ఆటోమేటిక్ కింద పడిపోవాలి. ఎలా పడిపోతుంది, అక్కడ నట్టు పోటీ ఇప్పుడు కింద పడేస్తారు, అక్కడ ఆకాశంలో కుదరదు కదండి. ఒక ఎలక్ట్రికల్ సిగ్నల్ పంపిస్తారు గ్రౌండ్ నుంచి. Then this will receive and cut the wire and that will fall down. And this arrangement is zero gravity arrangement. ల్యాబ్లో టెస్ట్ చేస్తారు, జీరో గ్రావిటీలో ఎక్విప్మెంట్ ఎలా పనిచేస్తుంది అన్నది టెస్ట్ చేస్తారు. ఓవర్ హెడ్ జీరో గ్రావిటీ సిస్టమ్. జస్ట్ ఇమేజెస్ చూపిస్తున్నాను అంటే కొంతవరకు మీకు ఇక్కడ చూసామన్న హ్యాపీనెస్ అని ఉంటుందండి. దిస్ ఇస్ షాక్ టెస్ట్. They just fall it from a height and they see how it withstands. And these are the activities, flow charts, and how they transmit from one location to the other location and then assemble. ఇవన్నీ స్టూడెంట్ శాటిలైట్స్ అంటే ఏ శాటిలైట్ చేశారు ఆ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అది. This is a launch station. I'll stop with this. Any specific? This is for EC students. PCB design software, how they design in space, from Gerber file to PCB, how they manufacture it, how they test it, mechanical facilities and electrical wiring, testing tools. I'll stop with this. Any questions from your side? Because it is running out of time, I'm stopping here. So you are welcome to ask any questions we have. Any questions? So we have only one question, sir. Kindly leave us immediately. That's the only question? Okay, thank you for your patient listening. Anytime, any doubts, I'll be here for 2 more hours. Some meeting is there. You're welcome. Related to space communication, antennas, whatever field you want, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable session. I request all of you to kindly proceed to the lunch. Please be back by 2:30 so we can resume the session in AV hall on the 1st floor. Thank you.
Ramana.